Well, hello there, my gummy bears. How are you doing? I'm excited to see you today. Alright, so today's video is going to be a little bit longer because I feel like we have to do a deep dive into the topic. Gratitude is something that is being talked about more and more nowadays. And it's a beautiful thing, of course, but I don't think that many people give it the reality of what that looks like when applied day to day. I'm here to give you my personal experience of what it looks like to keep a gratitude journal, how it's affected my mindset, as well as what you can expect when you start your own gratitude journey. Firstly, I want to start by emphasizing what a gratitude journal isn't and what it will not do for you. First of all, gratitude and keeping a gratitude journal is not a magic pill that will make you enlightened, so chill the F out. It won't suddenly make you a person that is always calm and always happy and you never get angry about anything. And it also most likely won't solve all your problems. It is also not something that you should be doing with expectations, because people nowadays seem to think that as they keep a gratitude journal and they do their own gratitude quotes, then they're gonna keep receiving and receiving. And the whole point of gratitude is that it's unconditional. You do it regardless of whether you get something or you don't. This is not meant to be done with the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna do it and then I'm going to get something in return. Fine then, what is it and why should we apply it anyway? Gratitude is a way of appreciation. It is a way of acknowledging what you have now, who you are now, the journey that it took you to get there, the people you have around you, and the things you have around you. It is a way for you to appreciate the life that you have been gifted. And it's, to me personally, kind of a reality check. For all of the people who are interested as well in Stoicism, then gratitude is also an amazing tool to help you control your emotions better. Well, I say control, but you know what I mean. I'm going to share exactly how it can help in this type of situations later in this video. Now, I want to give you a little bit of an insight why I actually decided to start a gratitude journal. Well, besides hearing everyone and their grandmother say that you should start a gratitude journal, I was also feeling very mentally stressed and exhausted. I was always the negative person in the room. And it got to the point where I realized that I didn't recognize myself because I always knew me as someone who always kept smiling and bringing positivity to the room. So now suddenly I was being the one that was always looking at the negative side of things. And we all know how tiring it is to be around someone that is constantly complaining. Now imagine what it's like to be that person in your head as well. So I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna start. It can't really do any more damage. And I went onto my phone and I looked for the first type of gratitude. And listen, you would be surprised because there's probably thousands of apps that you can use for it. I promised to myself that I was going to write every single day at least one thing that I was grateful for, and it doesn't really matter if I did it on my phone, on my notepad, on a book, it really doesn't matter. You can even do it on the Notes app on your phone. So I started it and it's probably been around a month and a half since I did, and now I'm going to tell you exactly what happened after that. You see, the people and situations and the things that used to piss me off didn't change. They are still there. However, and this is a big however, my mindset and how I approached these things was completely different. You see, there's always going to be triggers for you to get angry at something, for you to, snap and just start criticizing people, even in your head, or maybe even with other people. But now, after I've applied the gratitude mindset, well, I just don't feel like I have to anymore. My desire to engage with all of that is completely gone. You see, when you get into the mindset of being grateful for the life you have, for every single second of your existence, you're not trying to get anything out of it. You're simply just appreciating, observing and appreciating. Well, your whole outlook of life changes completely. Now, I'm gonna deviate a little bit, but it's intentional, so stick with me. Albert Einstein said in his theory of relativity that time and space are concepts in which we think, not in which we exist. This means that the only true moment in which you live and exist is right now. You don't live yesterday. Yes, you think of what happened yesterday, but again, it's in your head, it's your thoughts. Yes, you think of what will happen tomorrow, but again, it's in your thoughts. The only time that things actually happen is right now. So you start to question absolutely everything that happens around you. And gratitude and the concept of keeping a gratitude journal is to acknowledge all of the things that you want to keep living, the things that you want to keep happening to you, and writing them down. It is appreciating what is happening to you and just simply taking note of it. As we all know already, the brain lives what we focus on. If you're focusing on negativity, then only negative things will keep on happening to you. So when someone comes to you and they're in a state of lack where they need to criticize someone to feel good about themselves, well, you don't have to engage. You don't have to do that anymore because you don't want to keep experiencing the state of lack. You don't want to live this feeling of not being good enough, so you won't engage in that type of behavior. A person in the gas station smiled at you or maybe even bought you a coffee and this made you feel great. Good, then take note of that. Be grateful for that moment. This feeling of joy is what you want to feel more of and want to keep experiencing, so you're going to be grateful for that. Write it down, even if it's just one single line. I don't want you to worry about writing a whole paragraph. I have so many entries where I was just lazy to do it and I wrote a single line, and a lot of entries in which I started with one single line and it turned into a whole paragraph. You don't have to be a fancy poet to do it. You don't have to keep a fancy journal. You can just do it with the littlest thing that you have. You can do it on your phone's app. And I also like to think of gratitude as a way of kind of seeing where we are at, like a GPS. I think that we often take things for granted and we often forget where we are and who we are. We often focus on the things around us so much that we completely forget about everything in our presence. We forget to pause and to be grateful for the things that we have. We forget to thank for the food we eat. We forget to think about the warm clothes that we have, for the people around us, for the opportunities that we have in life. We forget to thank for having someone to talk to. And I also want to thank you for having the opportunity to talk to you, to share this with you. And I know it sounds cheesy, but I think some good old cheesy is what we all need right now. We need to be able to keep ourselves grounded and humble. And if you're feeling a little bit negative or you're feeling unmotivated, then I definitely suggest you try it out. And I also suggest you take a look at my video, Do This When You're Feeling Unmotivated, which I'm sure will help you get your spirits back up. Well then, as always, I'll see you over there. Mwah!